Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining this P18 Info-Session. We're just making sure that we are officially live and that you are able to see us. Menchu, can you confirm?
Are we live or what?
Yes, we are live. Hi, everyone. Again, thank you for joining to this P18 Gen.12 Info-Session. I'm Lisa Barreras. I'm the marketing manager for Parallel 18. And today with me is Natacha Martinez, who is our program manager at Parallel 18. Hi, Natacha.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Before everyone is able to join, let me just go over to the dynamics for today. We're going to be covering first some basics about the program, just to keep clarifying everything that we ask from startups and everything we offer for the startups. We're going to go over to the program timeline, and then we're going to go over the sections of the application to be able to clarify any doubts, any concerns, questions, and basically to let you know what we're basically asking or what are we expecting for you to answer on each one of the sections. And of course, remember that we have the chat that you can always ask questions. We have people from our team connected for to answer the questions that you might have. And of course, at the end of the info session, we can go over to the questions and answer any questions that is on the pipeline. So, Natasha, I'm going to be sharing a presentation for you to be able to see what, of course, we are explaining. So now I'm going to leave you with Natasha so she can go over the program overview.
Thank you, Lisa. First of all, I'm really, really excited about this next cohort. It's going to be really awesome. We have some awesome things to share with you and provide you during the program. So let's go over the main things that you will be getting as a P18er. So as it says right there, are you ready to become a P18er? Yes or no? So what will we be providing for P18 Gen 12 startups and founders? First of all, and one of the main things that people ask is the funding. So we will be providing $60,000 in funding. $40,000 will be in an equity-free grant, and then $20,000 will be in an investment. This investment is through a safe note or a simple agreement for future equity. Also, we have different things or different tools that we are able to provide. First, we have a network of over 600 investors we are constantly in communication with and are more than willing to meet you, connect you, and hopefully invest in you guys. Also, we have 75 plus connections with multinational. This is what we call our corporate partners. And if you're ready and if it's in the right industry, if it makes sense for both parts, we're able to connect you guys so you can either close partnership, get deals done. They can be your partners, clients, and anything else that could happen. Also, we have really good mentors. We don't put here the exact amount because we do have quite a few. But what we do on this part is that we get to know the founders and the startups that are going to be joining us in the P18 Gen 12 cohort, and then match the mentors in order for you to get the best of the best and the mentorship that you really need at the moment. And also, we have more than 300,000 in US dollars as value for the perks that are being offered in our platform. So once you are part of P18 Gen 12, you will get access to a new platform that we developed that has all the perks that we have available for you guys. Also, as a P18 Gen 12 startup, you will be able to connect with all of our alumni. We have already 11 generations that have been graduated or have completed P18. We have 6 cohorts that have completed pre-18 in an earlier stage. We have already 3 cohorts in post-acceleration stage. So you will get access to all of this huge community. And as we always say, we don't say goodbye ever to any of our companies. So you can get access to any of them if you need it. And hopefully you can also collaborate with them. The chance to scale globally, well, this is one of the best things of being part of P18 because because we have so many connections in different places, we're able to connect you with either mentors, investors, corporate partners that are gonna be helping you take your company to the next level, alongside with the mentor sessions that will give you the right structure to do it. And we have a local entrepreneurship ecosystem here in Puerto Rico. Right now is booming. There are a lot of help, a lot of tools, a lot of resources for any startup that is willing to move to Puerto Rico, or if you're already in Puerto Rico, keep the economy moving. So we have a lot of resources, a lot of connections that will also help you take your company to the next level. So, in the terms of the requirements, what are we asking from the startups? Well, we are innovation driven. So, we ask all the companies to have that innovative aspect in their solutions. So, that's really important. And they need to be in an early stage. That means that the company has to have 3 years or less of operations. We also ask for P18 for the companies to have some traction. That means if you're an enterprise or a marketplace, you need to make at least $2,000 in MRR, in monthly recurring revenue, with a monthly recurring growth. In this case, that should be at least 20%. If you're a consumer product, we ask for 3,000 daily active users with also some positive growth in it, hopefully 5% or more. Then we also ask, and this is the fun part, for you to move to Puerto Rico for 5 months. Um, that way, you can take advantage of all the things that Puerto Rico has to offer. So you need to get involved with the Puerto Rico startup ecosystem, the business ecosystem here, and make sure that you leverage everything that we have to offer. So in the application, and Lisa is going to be mentioning later on, you need to have a plan for the island. It could be either recruiting or hiring new employees, it could be acquiring customers, it could be raising capital. And obviously, in this part, we will make all the connections necessary for you to complete that. And then the scalability. Scalability is really important for us, mostly because we hope the companies can grow really fast. So companies need to show that you're able to scale quickly. So a product that can really adapt to different markets is something that we're looking for. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the selection process. Right now, we are in the application phase of the process. So once you fill the application and it's completed, submitted, remember that you have until April 30 to complete your application. April 30, 11:59, not a second after that. So once that's done, we will have an initial screening. This screening is only to make sure that all the applications comply with the requirements that we have in the program. It's basically our yes or no question. We will screen those applications that are not compliant and then move to the evaluation round. In this evaluation round, we have international judges. They can be either from Puerto Rico, US, Latin America, Europe. We have different kind of judges that will be evaluating each application. And then we'll give a score of 1 through 5, one being the minimum score, obviously, and then 5, the maximum score. And they will be evaluating some very specific criteria that we will share in the next few slides. And then, if necessary, we will have an interview round. This interview round will be only for specific startups that have some doubts or creating some kind of questions in the judges. And then we'll be able in this part to clarify any questions. Not everybody that has an interview round it means that it's going to the next stage or will be selected. It's just to clarify some very specific questions that the judges had. So the selection criteria that the judges will be using to evaluate your application will be product or service, and this includes the scalability, the innovation, what really does the product does, and if it's new to the market, and how basically the innovation part of it. After that, we have the market and positioning in this part, and Lisa's gonna be mentioning all the details in the application per se. But the market really means that you know your market, that you have a good position in it, and that you're willing to penetrate this market with the platform or the solution that you have right now. The team composition and experience, this is really important for us because all the companies should be in an early stage. So what does your team, or how does is your team the perfect team to run this program or to run this company, sorry. So your past experience is really important, your expertise and your team expertise, how many people are you working with, all those kind of information is really important that you put in the application, so because it's part of the criteria that the judges will be evaluating. Obviously, the traction, this is a requirement, but apart from putting in the MRR, they will be evaluating how fast can you grow and what is your monthly recurring revenue, how if it's your percentage of growth month by month, week by week, or comparing it if you're more than a year in your company already, how has it grown throughout the years. And then the link with Puerto Rico. So they will be, as I mentioned before, evaluating what can we do in Puerto Rico for you guys. So how can you benefit from being in Puerto Rico, and how can Puerto Rico benefit you? So that's really important too. In terms of the timeline, as I mentioned, right now we are in the middle of application round. You have until April 30 to complete your application. Then we'll go with the judging and selection process, and this will take place on the month of May. And after that, on May 31st, we should be notifying the startups that are gonna be joining the program. After that, we give the full month of June for the startup to prepare themselves, go over some visa documents if necessary, and put everything together so that in July 1st, we can start the program. So the program will be starting, I think it's a Monday, July 1st is the first day of the program. And now Lisa is going to take it away so she can explain a little bit more about the application.
Yes, let me do this and let me. Okay. Nope. I'm just trying to put this bigger, but for some reason, let me try this. Okay, here we are. So, in terms of the application, we have been receiving some questions specifically about each section and about our expectations with the answers. So, we're just going to go over each section to basically let you know exactly what we're looking for. But before we go to that, let me tell you a little bit about how to access the application. Of course, you can access the application in all of our social media channels. But if you go to www.parallel18.com, you can do two things. First, you can hit apply here, the button that you see on the top of the page. But we strongly recommend that you go on the one that says learn more, where you see P18. Why? Because if you hit learn more, you're gonna go to a landing page that you're gonna find more information about Gen 12, about the requirements, more data, and more information that you should know before applying. So as soon as you hit learn more, you're gonna go to this landing page, and here you can apply. You can hit apply here, so you can access Accelerator app. That is the application that we're using, or the platform that we're using to for you to be able to fill out the application. So when you are there, you need to create an account. And after you create the account, you can basically start with your application. And the first step, of course, is to read and to accept the terms and conditions. You can find the terms and conditions right there with a hyperlink. Or if you access parallel18.com, you can access the terms and conditions on the page and you can carefully read them. And this is highly recommended. And of course, if you don't hit that you accept the terms and conditions, you can't submit your application. So this is really important for us, because during the process and during the program, we need to make sure that you are aware of the terms and conditions of the program, because that basically is your commitment with us. So as soon as you do that, you're gonna be on the about section. And first of all, we wanna make sure for you to remember that the application must be completed in English. This is really important because, as Natasha mentioned, we have a pool of judges that are international judges, and we need to make sure for them to understand your answers. So if this is why we're asking for the application to be in English. And of course, because the program itself is an international program, so it is English program, so we need to make sure that the founders are able to understand and to communicate in English during the whole program. So in this section, what we want to learn is to have an overview of what you do and the stage of your company. Remember that this is a program for early stage companies, basically 3 years or less. So we want to understand your stage and understand what you do. And this is why we ask for a high level pitch. And this is basically a 1 or 2 sentences that describe what you do, not what you are. This is really important. And please keep it simple, no jargon or no industry terminology. Remember that not anyone is aware, and not everyone, sorry, is aware of your industry and the terminology that your industry use. So make sure that anyone can understand what you're writing on your high level pitch. And don't be boring, please. Remember that the judges will be evaluating a lot of applications, and you want to stand out from the other applications that they are dealing with. And what we do with our alumni or our startups is that we use this formula. It's really simple. It's basically saying, for customers that have the problem X that you're solving, this is what we do. So as simple as that. And with that, you're going to be uploading an online pitch video. This is a video that is really simple. It doesn't have to be a professional video or anything. What we want here is basically to put a face on the startups, and we want to know the founders behind it. So we need for you to pitch us in 3 minutes or less, uploading a video file to the application. And remember that this application must be 30 megabytes maximum for you to be able to upload it. So that's really important for you to know. And basically, in this video, you're going to be answering 3 questions. Why are you the perfect team to lead this project? First, what problem are you solving? How will Parallel 18 impact your startup? We want to make sure that you are really aware on how Parallel 18 can help you during this program. And really important, again, the video should be in English, and please present the founding team in person in the video. If you have more than one founder, you should have, again. So we need to see the faces on the video. That's highly recommended. If you can be both present in the video, that will be awesome. And other questions in this section can include type of product, the industry that you are working with, the startup stage, the years of operations, and stuff like that. Then you're going to go over the founder section. And this is really important to us because in Parallel 18, we are committing in every generation to increase the representation of all communities. And this is why we ask this type of questions. Our mission here in Parallel 18 is to work with underrepresented founders, supporting them through their journey. So this is why we ask these questions, because we basically want to know that our message is getting to the right people and the right startups, and persons. So this is really important to us. So in these sections, we want to know more about your commitment as a founder with your startup. This needs to be your full-time commitment. You can, it's not an option for us that this journey that you're dealing with as a startup is like a part-time or anything, because we need to make sure that you have you are committed to your startup as a full-time founder. So this is why we asked this. And what basically make you the best team to run this company, as Natasha mentioned, if you have experience, your education, anything that you think or that that makes you the best team to make this startup go to the next level. This is what we basically want to know here in this section. About innovation, Parallel 18, of course, is, and as we always says, we are driven by innovation. So in this section, what we want to know is to learn more about what makes your product or service different. We always have the same question: what is innovation for Parallel 18? And we basically always answer that is the art of doing something different. At this point, we know that it's really difficult to make something new. So we are basically looking for startups that are doing something in a different way and in a revolutionary way, and that's the innovation factor. And along with that, we are looking for the scalability, how scalable this business is, and this is basically how you can handle growth. And here there are some bullets that you can have an idea of what we are expecting from the answer. And it's for judges to have the idea of that you can show that your idea works, that you have a strong core team, that you have efficiency in your procedures, that you have documented processes, that you have cash flow to keep managing your startups. And of course, when we are talking of innovation, we need to talk about our competitors, because we want to make sure that you know who are your competitors and how do you differentiate from them. So we need to have there a clear vision of your value proposition. This is really important for judges. And of course, your business model. Um, we want to know how you make money. Judges want to know how you make money, because of course we all love what we do, and we are all in love with our startup and our journey, but we are all here to make money. That's the reality. So we want to know how you do it, and make sure to make the math for the judges, because you don't want for judges to be like, having the calculator going through your numbers, because they don't have necessarily the time to do that, because again, you are not the only application on the round. So make sure to have clear numbers and make the math for them. In terms of traction, as Natasha mentioned, you have there the metrics that we are looking for, the minimum in terms of enterprise or marketplace, $2,000 or more in MRR. And if you have consumer products, 3,000 monthly active users with a positive growth. So you need to be clear on that, because remember that if you don't meet the minimum requirements, probably you're not gonna go through the internal screening round. So here, make sure to talk about your active users or consumers. Who of those, or how many of those, are paying customers? Your average monthly recurring revenue, the countries you have with paying customers. This is really important because it shows, of course, growth and scalability. If you have signed partnerships, mention them. If you are available to do it, mention the companies, mention the names of those partnerships. That give you, like, more confidence. Revenue forecast for the 2024, and the strategies and actions that you're taking to drive the revenue in 2024. It's not enough just to say, hey, I'm planning to have this revenue, or this is my forecast, but we want to know what you are doing as a team to make that forecast a possibility during the year. In terms of equity, you're going to have a section that you're going to be talking about equity. And what we basically want to know is to learn more about your investment journey and equity, exploring the step you have taken through your journey to secure funding and how you manage that distribution. So basically, you're going to have questions about burn rate, about runway. And this is this if you haven't fill out an application like this before, maybe you're gonna have too many questions about this same topic, but it's really simple. We basically encourage you to use a really simple formula, that is your total capital divided into your monthly operating expenses, and that's basically your runway. We basically want to know how fast your company is spending your cash reserves. So this is really important for judges to know this information in the section of equity. And if you have raised capital, please include that information. If you haven't raised capital, nothing happens. You just say that you haven't done it. But if you have, we just want to know here the stage that your company is in terms of investment and raising capital. So if you have any other grants, equity free funding, or loans, don't include that in this section. That's not what we're asking for. We just want to know if you have raised any private capital, and if you have your investors and you can share that information, we also encourage you to include that in that section. In terms of to Puerto Rico, as Natasha mentioned, this is really important for us, because this is a program that started in Puerto Rico, and it's managed from Puerto Ricans from Puerto Rico. So it's really important for us for you to be able to let us know your plan for performance in Puerto Rico. That this can include hiring, acquiring customers, investments, among all of other things that can relate to this. So describe how Puerto Rico will be important for your overall business strategy. What aspects of your team or company and operations do you need to prepare to be able to have a commercial presence in Puerto Rico to expand to this new market? And what aspects of your team and company and operations will limit you the ability to have commercial presence in Puerto Rico? What we basically want to do here is to have an overview of the startups that are applying and how we can help them. If you have any limit to do business here, we are more than able to help you on that. But we basically want to know that you have a plan to establish operations in Puerto Rico in some level. And again, you have until April 30, 2024, 11:59 p.m. Not a minute more. So this is really important for us because we opened the application round on April 1st. So it's basically a month, 4 weeks that you have to complete your application. So if you have any other doubts, concerns during the process, we encourage you to send us an email to info@parallel18.com. In any of our social media channels, Parallel 18 Startups, you can also send us a private message and we can answer all your questions. I know that we have some questions in the chat, but our team have already covered them. So thank you. Again, April 30, we're going to be having other conversations and other info sessions during the process, and we're going to be announcing them on the social media channels. We're going to be talking with alumni. We always like to do that because it's not the same that Natasha and I and our team say how amazing our program is. And trust me, it is. But we always want you to be able to hear it from other founders that have gone to the program and probably can have a different vision on how it's to be a founder on Parallel 18. And we're going to be having a conversation soon. I think it's in April 23, where we're going to be giving more information during the process. So, Natasha, anything else that you want to add here?
I think that's it. If you're looking to grow your company, have fun in the meantime, go to the beach, go to the mountains, raise some capital, meet some very awesome people, this is the right place to be. So hopefully we can see a lot of people from a lot of different places. Have a very diverse cohort this year. So really excited for it. Looking forward.
Yes, and I think that as Natasha mentioned, this is the feeling of all of the Parallel team. We have a team of 14 members, right?
14, almost 15, soon 16. We keep growing.
Yes, and we are all available and excited to receive you in our new home because we have a new home. We have a new building that probably Gen 12 is gonna be the first cohort to be here. So you're gonna have that privilege. So we are more than excited to receive you in our new place and to create some memories. And you're gonna have fun. So again, April 30, 11:59 p.m. We have been receiving a lot of applications, so you still have time to go over it and stuff like that. But as we always mentioned, try to submit the application maybe a day before or with a little bit time in ahead because
Yeah, at least 2 hours before. We have seen everything happen, like from the internet going out, power going out, and we don't want anything to happen right before you submit your application. So make sure that you complete it at least a day before. You can review it a few minutes later, but make sure, and I would suggest maybe not waiting until April 30th.
because it's a lot of stress. Trust me, we don't sleep that night waiting for you to submit. So please try to submit your application. It's for your own good. Anyways, once the application round is closed, we have no control to open it again. So please make sure to submit your application. And again, any questions, doubts, concern, info@parallel18.com or in any of our social media channels. We are more than available to help you. Thank you again. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and enjoy your lunch if you haven't have lunch. So thank you. Take care, and bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.